Are data science jobs in danger? Well, honestly, maybe. There was a phase, everyone was talking about how to get into data science roadmap here and there, complete boot camp for data science. But now with AI getting better at writing code, generating insights, and a lot of what junior data folks do, they do like cleaning data sets, writing SQL, basic analysis. It's getting automated, right? You can automate all these things. But I don't want to be that guy, okay? It doesn't mean that these roles are going away. It just means that the tools are evolving. And the real value is shifting to people who can use these tools well. In the past, I've said, AI won't replace you, a person using AI will. So let's see what's new with data science. Now, speaking of data science, we have to talk about spreadsheets, Excel, that's what it all revolves around. And don't get me wrong, they're still one of the most underrated tools in tech. But the second you try to use them for anything serious, let's say you're working on real data sets, you're doing some analysis or collaborating across teams, it may fall apart. I have seen, many times people hit the spreadsheet limits, then they jump to Python scripts. Python, quite a popular language in the data science boot camps or something that you'll do. Also SQL or SQL, whatever you like to call it. And then they struggle to like share or scale their work. A lot of problems arise. I did a podcast recently with David, really nice guy, and I'll leave the link in the description below. What David is doing is, David and his team, they're building the AI native spreadsheet. It's called Quadratic. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not trying to be Excel. It's not trying to be like Google Sheets 2.0. It's just trying to bridge the code, AI, and data, in one place. So that podcast got some really good feedback. Highly recommend checking it out. It's very organic. We speak about, challenges of building a spreadsheet tool and a lot of lessons from production. But in this video, I'm going to basically walk you through the tool, see how you can use it, and it's free to try out, so you can check out the links in the description below. But yeah, if you're in tech, do check it out, because you are going to be coming across databases sooner or later, and it is pretty cool. Like I say, AI won't replace you, but a person using AI will. So I get really excited when I see interesting AI use cases. But before I get started, here is the problem. You have a CSV file with 1 lakh or 100K rows, for example. You put that in Excel, it starts lagging. Okay, Google Sheets freezes. Now you want to do something non-trivial. You want to, let's say, join across datasets. You want to generate insights. If you already work in data science, and some other examples like you want to run regressions. Okay, you're switching tools, or you're, let's say, sending code snippets around. You're doing a bunch of stuff. You finally write some Python or SQL code. But now the fun part comes, explaining what you did to someone who does not code. By the way, if you want a data science roadmap thingy, or my views on the topic, let me know in the comment section below. I would be happy to do that. But that's sort of like the pain that these AI tools are trying to solve, like Quadratic. You keep the familiar spreadsheet interface, so it's not like if you're using a new tool, you have to learn it, everything from scratch about spreadsheet. Like I said, it's not trying to reinvent Google Sheets or Excel, but it has like a layer in Python, SQL, JavaScript, and AI without needing to open VS Code or set up like a Jupyter Notebook or something else like that. So you have that spreadsheet interface and you just work in the familiar interface, like the cells and everything that you're already familiar with. Okay, so let's start with the PDF example only. This is a PDF I have of account transactions. I will just upload it. It's the finances PDF for a company. And let's just get some, tables out of it. So I'm just going to say create a table of finances using this PDF. So it's just going to extract the data and create a structured table out of it. That should be done any minute now. The larger the file, it may take a few minutes to read it. As you can see, that's done. That was fairly quick. So it has extracted the financial data, as you can see, from the PDF and created a structured table. It also provided me some insights, like the total amount, categorized it based on the accounts using the Python code. As you can see on the right hand side, it's using pandas. It created a summary of, using bar graphs, showing the total amount, transaction counts, average per account. So it's all grouped by account, so it's pretty cool. Now I can ask it a question. I can ask it to think as well. So it's going to give me more detailed insights. Think is on, and I can ask it some questions about my data. So that looks pretty cool. I'm going to close this and I'm going to go back to my chat, and it's giving me suggestions like, what do you want to learn more about this data? So show me the monthly transaction trends over time. It's going to think, as you can see, it's saying thinking. So it's going to show me how it's actually doing it using the thinking space. So it first did this, then this and that, and then it's had the Python code. And now you can see the monthly transaction amounts over time. That is cool. That is cool. And here you can actually see the Python code as well. Select this. Just gonna go here, and here you can see, yeah, that's the new one. So that's the monthly transactions amounts. That's the Python code for that. You can rerun it by editing the code, and that should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, very cool. So you can ask it questions as well, like if you want to ask questions about the Python code. So I can say, what are the largest, or let me just ask it question about the code itself, because that's what this is for, this sort of like dashboard on the right hand side. So I'll just say explain the code. Let's say someone is non-technical, they want to understand how this code is working line by line. So you can see the thinking as well, but it's going to give me an answer like, we import pandas, convert the data column to data time format using proper date handling, grouping transactions by month, so on and so forth, right? You can ask it further questions like that. This is what I mean. That's what I meant by, AI handling a lot of day-to-day tasks, what people do in like data analysis or data science and things like that. Cool. I can ask it more questions, create transaction forecast. Maybe we can do that for the next 3 months. How the transaction trends will look like. Again, you can see the thinking. So it's not just giving you, it's not like you're just getting the answer, but it's also telling you how it got to that answer. So we should be seeing the forecast for transaction trends over the next 3 months. It's simple. Like, you may ask me why, how does it decide where to put the graph or something. Oh, here we're getting an error. So actually, let's just ask what the error is. So it's saying it resolved the error as well. So it's saying there's an issue with data type when fitting in the model. So it's gonna fix that. So there was an error in the data type and it fixed that, and also gave me suggestions like what was needed to change in order to fix the error. And now you can see we have the transaction amount forecast for the next 3 months. Very cool. So if it, if you run into some error or something like that, you can ask it as well. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm interested. I don't know how you folks, try it out and what you work with. So yeah. That was the error, and it just, if you look at in the console, this was the error that we were getting, and it will give you like a before after suggestion to fix it if you go here. So you can ask your Python code console as well, how to fix this error. So it's thinking, it's going to say the same thing like fix the database, data type, and that's done, and that's good. Cool. That looks nice. Very cool stuff. So you can upload any PDF, and now you see that's what I was telling you about. When I select a particular cell and I ask it a question, like I say create a histogram showing distribution of transaction sizes, it's going to create the chart starting from this cell. So it's giving me a Python command, like a Python code base that it's going to run. And here you can see the cell that I selected, it has created a histogram in that cell. Right. Very cool. That looks nice. You can select that, Open code editor. Over here, 44 lines. And these bars are like, these charts are interactive as well. So I can zoom in, I can pan, I can box select, lasso select, zoom in, as you can see, zoom out. It's now zooming out, zooming in. Yeah, so I can literally play around with this as well. Auto scale, you can reset the axis and zoom, pan, so you can see I can move things around here and there. So these are also interactable. Right, I can also ask it to create a comprehensive summary report of all the activities. So you can see I have total transactions, date range, total amount, average transaction, largest transaction, right? It's going to create some visual insights as well on the monthly trends, which you'll see here shortly. There you go. And now I can move this around and do a bunch of stuff. So this was all the things I was able to do with just the PDF that I uploaded, right? And you can see it's giving me all the answers like total amount, transaction amount, and whatnot. And here you can go into the source code as well and edit it directly from the dashboard and run your code, and it's going to update your chart. Now, you're not just uploading local files. Sometimes you want to connect with the cloud databases like Postgres, MySQL, whatever, or APIs. So let's see how we can do that. I already have a Howdy database connected. It's just called Howdy, I named it. But you can see you can connect Snowflake and whatever. I have a database running in Civo Cloud. I'll show you how to connect your own database. You usually have these credentials that you'll get no matter what cloud service you're using. So you root, the database name, I'm using MySQL, host name, which is this address here, the port number on which MySQL runs, and the password. Test it. It should look good. When I click on create, I will have it created. It will look something like this, Howdy created few minutes ago. Now, you can see the schema. I can see the schema that this cloud database has. So essentially, I can control my Civo cloud database using Quadratic. So I can chat and I can ask how many tables are in this database. It's going to give me the answer like I'm going to write a SQL query, except, and here you can see 40 tables. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And it says that here's your answer. There are 40 tables. I can also ask it to create a table. So I can say just create a table called drivers with columns. You can say name, age, team, salary, and let's say add 10 entries in it. This is only for demo purpose. I don't know if many people will use this to create database, but it's good to know that you can do that. But I just want to show you just in case, because I want to show you how to work with remote databases. So there was a little error, but it's it says you can't execute multiple statements in MySQL, so it will just run it one by one. That is fine, not a problem. Now that the table is created, it's going to insert the drivers data. As you can see, insert into MySQL drivers in this column all the values. So it's also giving you like the commands that it's running. If you like working with SQL, you don't like writing the commands manually, Quadratic can do that for you. Now that these are in, I can say add 100 more entries. I don't know if there are 100 formula F1 drivers or not. There aren't 100 drivers. May not be realistic. So maybe add fictional data, add fictional, but add 100. I'm just gonna ask it to add 100. And that should run another command. So we should have like 110 drivers in this table. So yeah, that's what I basically want to show you. Like if you have a remote database, I'm using MySQL, but if you have Postgres, Snowflake, whatever, you can connect that with Quadratic and essentially basically do anything. And the stuff that I did in the past, like I asked questions like show me bar graphs, future prediction, whatnot, categorize it, I can do the same thing here as well. So there you go. It's adding 100 fictional drivers with realistic sounding names, and it's added that. Cool. So it should have 110 entries now in the table. That looks good. I can ask it questions. Show me the table. I want to see the final table in the sheet. Enter. And there we go. And here we can see. So you can visualize tables in your database. Let's say you have multiple tables. You can visualize, multiple tables in it. Okay, now what I can do is I can ask it questions about my sheet. So I can say create a bar graph of how many drivers in each team or something like that. And press enter. So you get the idea of the left-hand side chatbot and the right-hand side chatbot. Right-hand side is like the code editor, code chat thing. Left-hand side is like whatever is on my spreadsheet. So it used Python and it created like how many Red Bull has, how many Mercedes has, 14 drivers in McLaren or whatever, right? And similarly, like we did in the past, we can ask it questions, show average driver age by the team, analyze the salary distribution, for example, we can do that. So it's going to generate that for us across teams. So median, quarterlies, and any outliers or whatever. So here you can see the salary distribution in the teams, like for all the teams is also available over here. Cool. You can ask it other questions, top 5 highest paid drivers, average salary, average, team or whatnot. Okay, lastly, I also want to show you like you can upload CSV. So I just dragged my CSV over here. And this is a real world data for a company. So this is like my 0 transactions. So you can upload PDF, you can connect databases, but you can do good old CSVs as well. So create a table. I can ask that shows me total debit and credit for each type in the, I can say column 2, which is the source. So it should show me, it should categorize it with all the types in the column number 2 in source. So here you can see total debit, total credit, right? Total spent money, claim expenses, receivable pay, receivable income, manual journal. Awesome. I can say create a bar chart comparing debits and credits for each transaction type. So essentially the similar thing, right? I won't repeat. Imagination is the limit. So here you can see that it didn't show me the bar graph. So I can ask it like, what went wrong? I can open the code editor. I can either check the code editor, what's the issue? Or if I don't want to do that, I can just ask quadratic as well. So I can say, did not work. Fix it. So I deleted it, creating a visualization again with a different approach. There we go, that works. I'm curious why it didn't work before. Let me ask it, what was the issue? The first plotty.express, which sometimes has limitations, group bar charts. Okay, plotty.graph objects instead of plotty.express. Cool. So it used like a different old function, which is fine. We all have made that mistake. And then it was like, no, it's not working anymore. So I'll use the newer function. So cool. But yeah, as you can see, pretty cool stuff. I just wanted to show you these approaches, but imagination is the limit, sky is the limit. I would say highly recommend playing around with it. I know everyone works with databases. If you're interested in learning about data science or just exploring these Python tools as well, highly recommend checking out Quadratic. What you can also do is check out the API. So you can fetch data over HTTP. Should be very straightforward. So import requests, pandas, and just make a GET request to the URL and put it in a data frame, and very simple stuff. If you want to see how other folks are utilizing quadratic or some real world use cases, there are some examples here: machine learning tutorial template, public health data exploration, startup portfolio tracking, predicted energy usage. Let's check out public health data exploration. So here you can just see some data. This is just sample data, but as you can see, like how you can work with quadratic. So it can be shown over here. Now here are a few things that stood out for me. I want to learn what stood out for you, so let me know in the comment section below. Number one, AI doesn't just give answers, it also writes the actual code. So you saw Python, SQL or JavaScript, and you can tweak it. There was a code editor on the right hand side, which is a huge thing for like trust, right? The spreadsheet UI scales really well. I loaded in a data set that would usually bring some other sheets to its knees, but this was still pretty smooth. So like the whole UI felt really smooth. And as I showed you, it connects directly to APIs and databases. So it's a very big deal if you're used to exporting and importing everything manually. They've made this SOC 2 and HIPAA compliant, and the whole thing is open sourced on GitHub. If I didn't mention that already, how dare I forget that it's open source. But yeah, that gave me a bit more confidence when uploading data. So you have that sort of like control over that. And who is this for? Honestly, I mean, if you're a sole builder, data analyst, trying to switch tools, or even a dev who just wants to give your non-technical teammates access to analysis, they can just see your work and build on top of it. I think it's worth checking out. Honestly, I would say if you just want to, if you're just used to spreadsheets and want to learn Python or SQL casually as well, then the built-in AI is a great learning crutch also. Or if you're a big company enterprise, your developers can make use of it pretty heavily. So yeah, it's free to check out. So to each their own. I highly recommend it, and let me know what you think. I will link the exact quadratic sheet that I used in the demo below in the description of this YouTube video, so you can play around with it. Yeah, it's free for individual use, so you can just test it out for your own workflows. Let me know if you end up using it, and if you have any like creative use cases. I'm curious to know what sort of workflows or automations people are building with tools like this. And also, do let me know when you're using AI tools like this and AI is taking a lot of tasks off your plate, what is it that you are focusing on now? Because that's the whole point. AI can do things for you and you can spend your time solving other problems. So I want to learn about that, what the data scientists are doing now. But yeah, interesting tool. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.